Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. So, this is our last session for Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15 overview. Before going start that one, I will start with the Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनुविष्ठां स्थापितं जनभूतले स्वयं रूपकदामयं ददाति शपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च पञ्चकल्पतरुवश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमोऽयं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीमद् भागवत गीता एज इट इज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Okay, so we'll start with the recap what we have learned yesterday from yesterday's session. We have finished 3 sections out of 5, right? So in section 1, Lord Krishna explained us about our current residence, which is temporary and it is entangling. He also instructed us to make our goal to reach the permanent resident by cutting down the entanglement with the weapon of detachment. Okay, and in section 2, Krishna gave us the description, a description of our own identity. He says that we are his part and parcel, and how we are struggling here through the bondage of birth and death. Okay, and one needs to achieve the spiritual knowledge to understand this journey of the soul. In the picture, you can see the journey of the soul. It is 2 types: path 1 and path 2. And path 1, it is this journey is happening within the body, and in path 2, the journey is happening from one body to another. And in section 3, Krishna says that one can achieve this knowledge, that knowledge that about the what is called transmigration, right? One can achieve this knowledge by perceiving that Krishna, Lord Krishna, is the supreme maintainer at the cosmic level and also for the living entity. We have discussed that how he maintains the living entity externally and internally. Now, in the next 2 sections, Krishna is going to tell the essence of the Vedanta. It is called the three sloka Bhagavad Gita. You know about that Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. It mentioned in 10th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? And here we are seeing that this is the three sloki Bhagavad Gita, because these slokas are giving the essence of the Vedas. And here in this section, Krishna is going to tell, is going to introduce Purushottama. That is the main purpose of this chapter, right? He's going to introduce Purushottama, and he's going to give us the Sambandha Jnana, which is the first stage of in this advancement of the spiritual. In spiritual advancement. Okay, until now, Krishna was talking about. So in section 4, it consists of verses from verses 16 to 18. So now Krishna is going to talk about, until now he was talking about the one class of living entities, right, who are entangled in this material world, who are struggling here because they are detached. They are detached from Krishna, Lord Krishna, who are entrapped in this material gross body, which is changing, right? Which is changing. This class of living entity, this class of living entity are called the Kshara, right? So before that, we knew that Krishna talked about living entity. They are living in this material world. So the this class of living entity are called here Kshara or fallible, and have the tendency to get distracted from their original identity, Sarupa. They tend to forget that thing, distracted from that knowledge that what are we, right? Our Sarupa. Krishna, Jiberu Swarup hoy Krishner Nitya Das. We are the eternal servant of Lord Krishna. So that living entities in this material world, they forget that thing. And here in this verse, Krishna is talking about another class of living entities, another kinds of living entity, and Krishna calls them Akshara, right? So living entities are there in the spiritual world and here in this material world. Material world, the living entities are called Kshara or Akshara, and in the spiritual world, the living entities are called Akshara or infallible, which means no changing. There is no change in their Sarupa. They stayed there with their Sarupa. They are continuously engaging in the loving service of Lord Krishna. And they never get distracted from their original identity. They are the liberated soul, engaging in the devotional service of Lord Krishna. So, two types of living entities, souls, conditioned soul, they are staying in this material world, and liberated soul, they are staying in the spiritual world. And next, Krishna, he is going to talk about uh, the first feature of Supreme Lord. So he is saying that we can find in the other places of Bhagavad Gita in the beginning of chapter 8, right? What is that called? Kshara. In the chapter 8, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, what is Brahman? What is Brahman? Kim tad Brahma? And Krishna replied that Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Srila Prabhupada translates that one as the Akshara as the indestructible, transcendental living entity. It's called Brahman. Okay. Thus, he mentioned that the explanation given by Srila Vishwanath Thakur Chakraborty, that Akshara means Brahman. So Akshara mentioned here in this verse, in verse number 16, right? Akshara means what? Infallible or Brahman. So this is the first step of realizing Supreme Lord. What is that? What are the three features of realizing Supreme Lord? Brahman, Paramatma, and then Bhagavan. So in verse number 16, it is introducing the first feature of the Supreme Lord, it is Brahman realization. Okay, so now in the next verse, Krishna is going to introduce us the Uttama Purusha. So remember that there are two terms, Purushottama and Uttama Purush. Okay, so in verse number 17, Krishna is going to introduce Uttama Purusha, the supreme one who is beyond the two classes of living entity. What, what are the two types of living entity? Anybody can say? What are the two classes of living entity?
Sara and Ashara.
Shara and Akshara.
Fallible
And
and infallible.
sorry?
Fallible and infallible.
Yeah. So, and in verse number 17, Krishna is introducing the Uttama Purusha who is beyond these two living entities. And so what is the understanding? The position of a liberated soul, right? Liberated soul is higher than the conditioned soul. Okay. So conditioned soul is the below one, and then liberated soul, and Uttama Purush, he is beyond that liberated soul as well. Okay, so there is no possibility. What is the understanding from here? There is no possibility for the living entity, whether fallible or infallible, to become one with the Supreme Lord. Okay, so he is beyond the liberated soul as well. He is Paramatma. So Krishna is introducing here Uttama Purusha, who is the Paramatma. Okay, he is beyond the liberated soul. He is Paramatma who enters the three worlds and maintain everything. Right? Yesterday we have learned that one from verse number 14 and 15, right? And that Krishna is the maintainer, the Supreme Lord is the maintainer. And here in this verse, Krishna is saying that the Paramatma who enters in these three worlds and maintains everything. Krishna called him as Uttama Purusha in this verse, who is Paramatma. Uttama Purusha means who is beyond the two Purushas, fallible and infallible. So, can you see the difference between verse number 13, where Krishna mentioned that I enter? Anybody remember yesterday? I enter. Krishna says that I enter into the planet, right? And in this verse, Krishna says that what is that? The Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha enters into the planets. So in verse number 13, Krishna says that I enter into each planet, and here he is saying that Uttama Purusha, Paramatma, Super Soul, enters in the three lokas. So Krishna enters. What is the understanding from here? So Krishna enters into the planets as Uttama Purusha. Then who is Krishna? Right? What is the answer for that one? Then who is Krishna? That Krishna will talk in the next verse. Verse number 18. Krishna is introducing Purushottama. Purushottama, and Krishna declares that he is the Purushottama. Okay. So this verse is talking about Bhagavan realization. Do you see the sequence? First sloka is the Brahman realization. Second sloka is the Paramatma realization. And the third one is Bhagavan realization. We need to understand this. That's why these slokas are called Three Sloki Bhagavad Gita. Three sloki, very important verses. So the verse is talking about Bhagavan realization. Krishna declares that he is the Purushottama. Why? Because he is transcendental, beyond fallible and infallible, greatest, celebrated both in the spiritual and material world, and in the Vedas as supreme person. So this chapter is called Purushottama Yoga, and Krishna clearly established that he is the Purushottama. So this chapter teaches to connect with Lord Krishna. So you remember at the beginning of this chapter, Krishna instructed us, after being detached from this material world, what did he say? What is the next step? Seek and surrender unto the Supreme Person and connect with him. You remember? Anybody remember? In verse number 4, Krishna said in that verse. And at the end of the chapter, he is saying that I am that Purushottama. Thus, he is giving us the Bhagavan. Yeah, Shefali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji,
Hmm.
the first one is clear to me, and the third one, Bhagwan Krishna, is clear to me, and the second one, who comes in Paramatma realization, means like living entities comes in the first one, right? We fallible
No,
and
there is a two terms, Shara and Akshara, right?
yeah, yes.
Akshara means a Brahman. So it is the explanation given by Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur. So we can consider that one. The first verse is the Brahman realization. And the second one is the Uttama Purusha. Krishna says that Uttama Purusha enters into the planet and maintains everything. And he mentioned in that verse that Uttama Purusha is Paramatma. So the second verse is the Paramatma realization. And the third verse, Krishna says that Purushottama, Uttama Purusha and then Purushottama.
Yeah,
This is,
Krishna is Purushottama, right?
yeah, Krishna is
And
Purushottama.
and in the first one, we fallible ones and infallible ones are Brahman realized. It comes under this category, right?
Yeah.
And who comes in the second one, Paramatma realization? I mean to say, example, like What what does it mean?
These are the three levels of understanding, three features of understanding the Supreme Lord. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So if you, I'm not sure if I have time. Can I
Yeah.
finish the class and
Yeah.
then?
Yeah. Sure,
Hmm.
Mother. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So there is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So there is a progression, right, in these three verses. And although this progression, through this progression, Krishna is taking us to the ultimate conclusion, that surrendering unto Purushottama. And who is Purushottama? Lord Krishna. Let's move forward to the next section. So now it is the time to get the transformational knowledge. Like we got all the knowledge. Now it is time to get the, it needs to be transformed, right? After achieving the intellectual knowledge. So in verse 19, so these are the section Krishna is going to teach us avideya and prayojan jnana. Okay. So here Krishna is saying that in verse number 19, that the next step after knowing that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead without any doubt. So this is very important point. Huh? We have to understand Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, but there should not be any doubt. Okay, and understand the relationship with Him, and that is fully engaging. After understanding that one without any doubt, one will be engaged in devotional service. Krishna says that bhajati mam. Amake bhajati mam is worshipping me. Okay, so this is the second stage of spiritual advancement. What is that? Anybody knows? After sambandha, and then what is the next step?
Abhideya.
Avideya. So the activities, what you need to do. And the next in the last verse, Krishna is talking about the prayojan stage, okay, achieving the perfection of life. Okay, he says all the knowledge that is given throughout this chapter is confidential and secret of the whole Veda. Okay, this is very confidential. Now it is disclosed to Arjuna. Why Arjuna? Why he choose Arjuna? Because what is his qualification? Because he is non-envious. So do you think that we are qualified like Arjuna? No, right? But still Krishna disclosed this knowledge to us through Arjuna. He understand what is our weakness. Thus he said in the last line for us in this chapter, Etad Buddha Buddhiman Shat Krita Kritascha Bharata. Whoever understands, he is talking about us. Whoever understands this will become wise. And he also added another point. What is that? Krita kritas, by endeavoring. Ah, because he knows that we are not that much qualified. We need endeavor to understand. So try to understand by continuous endeavoring, and we will achieve the perfection. Okay, so that's the end of this chapter. Now, in the next slide, let's see the whole chapter. In this whole chapter, Lord Krishna, how Lord Krishna directs us to the level of perfection. Krishna gives us the knowledge of our real identity, and he gives the knowledge of our real and permanent residence. He instructs us to search for that home. He gives us knowledge of Lord Krishna, who is the supreme maintainer. He gives us the knowledge of our eternal connection with the Supreme Lord. He introduces us to Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he instructs us to surrender unto him. And after that, we will achieve the perfection of our human life. So thus, Krishna in this Purushottama Yoga, from the beginning to last, helps us to get connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thanks for your kind attention. That's the end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. If you can give the answer in 2 minutes, then maybe you can give that Brahman, Paramatma, and
Yeah,
Bhagwan
Mataji, I will just
realization.
give you one example. I always
Yeah.
give one or two example to my kids. I mean, when I'm giving the class, like take the example of gulab jamun, right? Common example, gulab jamun, and people are next door. If next door they are making gulab jamun, right? So first, what will you have? The smell, right? So you will get the smell, but by the smell, will you have the what is called the taste of gulab jamun? No, right? But you want to have that gulab jamun, so you come out and look for that place where they are making the gulab jamun. So you found that house and enter there, and you are seeing from far that they are making gulab jamun. So by seeing, will you have the taste of gulab jamun? No. What will you need to have the taste of gulab jamun?
Need to put in her mouth.
You need to put in your mouth. So this is the 3 steps. So in the first step, you will not realize what is gulab jamun taste like. Next step, will also not have the what is called the experience. When you bite it, you will have the experience of gulab jamun. Same thing. So in the Brahman realization, that step you will not have the experience of Bhagavan. Paramatma level also you will not have that one. And when you are there, you are personally, with your existence, you will serve Lord Krishna, you will see Bhagavan in front of you. That is the Bhagavan realization.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderfully explained. And we have just hardly 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. So we'll just stop the recording here.
I would like to thank all of you to tolerate me these 3 days. And thank you, Ananda Acharya Prabhu, to give me this opportunity. It was really
Mataji.
helping me. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Very well done.